Well, how Hunter children do this year, the Queen Quet head upon the body of the Gullah Geechee Nation. So glad that Hunter children to tune in one more again to Gullah Geechee TV. This year one special time for me, because this be Gullah Geechee Nation Appreciation Week and Beaufort, South Kakalaki. Now that'll be homecoming, so you know I'm glad for this year. You know it's been a shouting time for me. Okay, look yeah. And then you know how we close out this year thing? We culminate this year thing with this year emancipation in the Gullah Geechee Nation. That been we theme for the Gullah Geechee Nation International Music and Movement Festival. So you know, every year when we had this year festival, I crack my teeth and leave wild with me founder, the other founder of this year fest, Brother Kwame Shaw of Old Mobile Production, what we call AMP, turn it up. Kwame Shaw, how wanted to do?
Doing well, Queen. Doing well.
I'm glad if I had you putting the show one more again.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Appreciate it.
So now, tell me, this year, I know it be kind of special for all of we and things like that since the festival ended, Gullah Geechee Nation Appreciation Week. But what would you share with the audience that you think made it unique for you or special for you this year at the festival?
Well, every year is unique. I think what really stood out for me is the tour. We had a chance to go on a tour. Of course, you know, every time.
The Gullah Root Experience tour.
Right. Every time I'm here, I'm learning something new, and even some of the things that I've, you know, had a chance to see before, like the Praise House and so forth. But there's always, it's like when you read a good book. Every time you read it again, you discover something new. That's because you change.
Right.
So, you know, I'm different from when I was the very first time I came here. And, you know, definitely much more of an appreciation. And what I got from that tour was just so immense. And everyone else got the same, if not more. So that was unique for me, you know, to really see how to incorporate that level of tour and that level of knowledge in tour with a festival event. Definitely.
Interesting. Glad that you enjoyed it. And I know even plenty of people who were on the tour are natives of St. Helena Island. So it was kind of interesting having that kind of a mixed audience, folks from the island, folks not. Folks here for the very first time, folks I guess are returning back and forth. And to see that everyone got something special out of it. Like I asked at the end of the tour, I said, I guess I poured y'all because y'all knew all this. They were like, yeah, right, you know, all of this.
No, folks were really in awe of the history that's here. You know, as I said, I'm learning some new things every time I'm here. And I think people are now beginning to realize the richness of Gullah culture. They're really beginning to understand what it means, you know, what it meant to be a pivotal part in this country's development.
Absolutely.
You know, not just within Gullah Geechee development and continuation, but within this country's development.
Right.
You know, very, very major roles that were played.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's why we have the festival, as you know, every year is to kind of help people get an understanding of how critical it is, how Africans laid the foundation for what is now called America. And so many people do not actually realize that, or even if they've read it, they don't respect it. It kind of reminds me of the Richard Pryor episode with going to Kemet. You know, what they call the Egypt scene, they have it as on YouTube, where they actually go into the pyramids and then they discover the paperwork that shows the glyphs, and then he realizes all these glyphs are African people,
Black people.
And then you actually see what the Sphinx and everything looked like before the nose got blown off, and he's like, oh, wait till I get back and tell everybody about this, and then they end up locking him in the pyramid and leaving, and they said, we gonna tell him we didn't find anything. So, you know, so again, it's like our story has been discovered, uncovered, and recovered and reinterpreted by folks who don't want to really share that knowledge. And so it's critical with the Gullah Geechee Nation International Music and Movement Festival that we continue to share the knowledge and information about who we are for true and things like that. And now play things like that. And so it's so many people out here just doing storytelling, entertainment. We do edutainment. Yeah, edutainment. And I thought that it was so powerful yesterday when we had Gullah Geechee Reunion Day, how the edutainment really flowed.
It definitely flowed. Not all just music and dance and play, like you said. You know, you have a full introspection from the time of the African traditions being continued here. Pouring of libation, you know, the respecting of the ancestors. Fast forward again back to the proclamations, recognizing the richness of the culture.
Absolutely.
Then taking you from the point of where, you know, the Africans were brought here, and then the, I don't want to say stories, but the experiences that Gullah Geechees have coming up, growing up.
Absolutely.
You know, it was definitely a great presentation, and a diverse presentation of what encompasses Gullah Geechee culture.
Absolutely.
You know, the experiences of Gullah Geechees coming into the city, and
yes.
like, wow, you know,
yes.
culture shock.
Culture shock.
Literal culture shock, which is what a lot of African Americans experience when they come here.
Yeah, absolutely, the reverse, right?
Exactly.
They have culture shock.
So, you know, but now, which culture would you rather live?
That's the difference. And remember, even in the dance that I did with the histo-musical presentation, Mama Right, all right, it says, which one do you choose?
Yeah, exactly.
Some people fly, some people die. Which one do you choose in your life? Okay? And so, you know, that's the thing, that culture shock, and like you said, which way do you want to live? And it's so interesting because so many people who come to our festival are stunned that there are people of African descent still living the way that we do. And one of the things that one of the sisters who was saying how, you know, people had denigrated her for so many years living up in Maryland for knowing Gullah and speaking in that manner, her thing was even looking at the dynamics of how people can still live here, and people still will look at you like, oh, but you don't sound like you're from the South. You can't be Gullah because you don't sound like, what does that sound like?
Yeah,
when you don't act, what does that sound like? If I'm speaking English, I'm speaking English. If I'm speaking English, I speak this way. If I had toned down like this and thing like that, and crack and teeth and Gullah and thing like that, this like this shit went on in the year to me. So just like if I were articulating Spanish, ¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo está ustedes? You see what I'm saying? So I shouldn't necessarily sound the same because my punctuation, the fluctuation of my voice, the intonation, the phonetic structure from language to language should change. So it amazes us when people say things like that. It's like, oh, you're so articulate, you know, that kind of remark, you know. So it's like, okay, so you expected the opposite, it seems like. So it's always interesting, you know, to have groups of people come together and, like you say, share their story of growing up Gullah Geechee, because there are so many different dynamics to it. And I think that was what was so wonderful also about the flow of events yesterday, because we had John's Island, we had James Island, St. Helena Island, you know, all the way through Amelia Island.
Yes.
We had a range of folks from all the littoral sea islands, as well as people from the city of Charleston, you know, and so forth. And then when you talked about the proclamations, that had already given people a historical journey through Beaufort County, which is unique because it is largely a chain of sea islands. We have very little mainland, but we still have the same dynamic where there's a difference between those who grew up in the townships and their perspective of Gullah Geechee versus us who grew up on St. Helena Island, who lived the culture and kept the language and everything over the years. So to finally have all the incorporated townships, and for any of my viewers who don't know what those are, they are the city of Beaufort, the town of Port Royal, the town of Bluffton, the town of Hilton Head, counted 4 incorporated townships within Beaufort County, South Carolina. Then you have the unincorporated areas like St. Helena and Ladies Island and so forth, and some of Ladies Island has been annexed, almost all of it now, into the town of Beaufort. And so you have mayors of these townships, but then you have Beaufort County, and they have a county council. So there were 5 proclamations, 5, issued to myself, the Gullah Geechee Nation, to Kwame and I, for the work that has been done. And so the Gullah Geechee Nation Appreciation Week wasn't just declared in one place. It was declared countywide by every municipality that exists. And what was so powerful, I have been on the dais with the mayors before. I've been to the various county councils, town council meetings. I've seen them present proclamations before, and I've seen them do it in almost a rudimentary kind of fashion. Like, you know, everyone comes in suit and tie, and they step in, and they're called to the mic, and they do this, and you shake hands, you take a picture, and they leave, you know. But yesterday, there was power to every one of those presentations of those proclamations. There was sincerity, there was heart in every one of those proclamations. Each one of them wasn't just reading a script of what was on the page.
Right.
They spoke from the heart about not just their towns, because you know people can do that too for politics, for tourism. They weren't doing that. They were sincerely speaking to the fact of how they appreciate now and respect Gullah Geechee culture.
Exactly.
And Mayor Billy Keisling of the town of Beaufort, who many people have seen on national television lately because of our Gullah Geechee idol, all right, Candace Glover, who's a native of St. Helena, and her coming back to Beaufort, being on the waterfront. You've seen the mayor there, but he made it clear that anyone who was not at the festival, it was their loss.
Their loss. They missed out.
They missed out for not being there to celebrate Gullah Geechee Nation Appreciation Week. And so with Councilman McBride and having Brother Grant come over and having Mayor Soka, who gave her proclamation back in Bluffton, you know, having Mayor Murray from Port Royal, having every one of them take the time out to not only come present the proclamation,
but stay.
They stayed. And so even today, you know, people say, we had a great time yesterday, you know, and I said, I'm so glad you came. And they were actually part of the entourages coming with these diplomats, you see, and these leaders of the county. And so I thank each and every one of the townships. We thank Beaufort County for definitely making it an outstanding celebration of Gullah Geechee Nation Appreciation Week. Absolutely. And I know it was divine order.
Absolutely. Because
150 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, to have 5 proclamations read to the Gullah Geechee Nation, that's divine order.
Recognition of the work, recognition of the culture, it's major. You know, even the ancestors came, they made sure they did their libation.
Yes, sure did.
And it didn't cause a hitch, didn't interrupt any flow whatsoever. So, you know, it was definitely a beautiful, beautiful day, a beautiful weekend altogether. Yes. Appreciate working with you, continue to work with you. Let's grow this. Let's get people to understand that they need to come back and understand what's going on here, what has gone on, and again, the contribution that Gullah Geechee culture has made to the world.
Yes, and what will be continuing to go on by keeping Hunter children upon the land and things like that, because you know this year about self-determination in the Gullah Geechee Nation. And we're so glad that all the Hunter children been here from around the world, even over the weekend and things like that. But you know what? Next year, we back in the Chuck, back in Charleston, South Kakalaki, the first weekend of August.
Right.
Now, we got something for you though. We going from the Chuck to the Strand. We're going from Charleston to Myrtle Beach. We're going to be having Gullah Geechee Family Day going up the coastline, going northward, where you will learn our story on the journey through Georgetown County, South Carolina, and then up to the town of Myrtle Beach. And so it's going to be an end to the festival that's going to be relaxing, fun, and a real time to gather the family together just in celebration and again to enjoy our entire coastline of the Gullah Geechee Nation. So Hunter children, if you missed this year one, plan already now for 2014, first weekend in August. Join me in Charleston, South Kakalaki. From there, we go in Myrtle Beach, and then after that, Hunter children can go wherever Hunter so choose after that. But you know what? We gonna have something for you, because it's going to be about reconstruction, reconnection, and revival. That is our theme for next year. And so we're so glad that this year we had a chance for going on into that period of time and things like that, where the Emancipation Proclamation be read, but rather was a new period of time for emancipation in the Gullah Geechee Nation for true. And Hunter children, we thank you for watching this your program with we. We could let you take a little bit of the journey now, because we could show you what we done see over the weekend. All right? Because if Hunter know that when Hunter did with me, Hunter might know that this year, the work going on. I got my brother Kwame Shaw of Omo Productions, co-founder of the Gullah Geechee Nation International Music and Movement Festival, and Ida Queen Quet, head from the body of the Gullah Geechee Nation. Peace, blessing, and power to Hunter children. Well, how Hunter children to do this year, the Queen Quet. So glad that Hunter children to tune in for this year broadcast on Gullah Geechee Nation Appreciation Week. We're there for Hutton Island, South Kakalaki, about to get started with the 2013 Gullah Geechee Nation International Music Movement Festival, Emancipation in the Gullah Geechee Nation. So glad that 100 children to tune in and things like that, but see what is going on down here this your weekend, and 100 ain't done on the way, we ain't know what for see. But we're so glad that 100 children to tune in, because if 100 are there with me, you know, 100 going to know that this year, the what going on. This your day. Get it together. All the children. What it did. All these your children. Together. Better what? Yeah, I'm here. Here's something. This your day. I'm not yet about now. For the Gullah Geechee Nation. We give thanks for this your day. For emancipation. In the Gullah Geechee Nation. We thank you for all of the evil, Mandinka, Malinki, Udiman, Gullah, Geechee, Mendy, Tammy, Feet, Video,
give thanks. Said my daughter them lives. They brought Tommy back down. So God, we thank you this year. See, bring all these your children. See, the other rest what they come. They make up see. And they make the road see. And they make the sky see. And they make the trucks. And they make sure this your day. Stand this year. Thank you for this year. Thank you for holding back this stuff. Thank you for all the children what they did. Daddy, the day, one son, hold for them. 40 years. Hold on. Bless him. And night, 100 give me. Give me. 100 get you. Hold on. And then this year. And all we ancestors who will come over you, who will take okay, Gullah. We poor, we say, I share. All of we ancestors, we understand. Who will pray need more in this wilderness. After they get them young, we the poor, and we say, I share. All of the ancestors, who will send the children now, or get the charity, but have them for whole for the land. But they learn them. When they don't know where the day from. When they white, know 100 one. We poor, and we see. All of them. What they steal you, spin you, and the one. Down here, 100 children, on this side. Right up when you just see. Who had the mother with them on stand. But hard for the man, hard for the culture. Not to until like a crocky key towel, thing like that. We poor, and we see. Now let we God from we ancestors. The one who been a blessing. The one who been a sacred ancestors. The one who learn we what to do, what not to do. The thing will hold you through all of this shit. And we honor you. We honor this shit day. Each day. Like the cloud. Ashe. 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 Baba Jack. Ashe. 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 Susie King Taylor. Ashe. Harry Taylor. Ashe.
Nyews.
Ashe. 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 Reverend Ashe. 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 Lord Chapel. Ashe. Ashe. Henry Holmes. Ashe. Rita Holmes. Ashe. Primus Holmes. Ashe. 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 Sonia Hurst. Ashe. Ashe.
Baba Cup.
Ashe. All of we ancestors there. But now we don't remember now. We know sick. Then a shout would be. But this shall day for come. That the children remember we've been down. And red us. And still hold it from in the heart. We pour and we say, Ashe. 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 And let the church say,